Good morning, Bob. How are you?
I'm great.
All
How are
right.
you?
I'm fine. We're going to have fun today.
Yes.
We're going to have, first, I'm David Mork. I'm part of the Rotary Heritage Project for Sun Lakes Rotary. We're going to have all of the Rotarians that have had more than 15 years in Rotary and over 70 try and be on this video.
Right.
So this is Bob Lapointe, and Bob has been a long-time member of our club. I think well over 16 years at the time I put the information together, and February 11th, 1997
That's correct.
is when you were inducted into Rotary.
Yes.
Wow. That's exciting. It's a long time.
It's a long time, yes.
But then you left,
Yes.
and back to New Hampshire.
That's correct. Yes.
And that was in what, 2013 or so?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So he's here as a guest with us today,
Yeah.
as a visiting Rotarian from the club he's still a part of back there in Dover, New Hampshire.
That's correct.
And
yes.
because you've been such a long-time member of this club, I wanted to ask you these questions and get you on video, and it's a pleasure to see you.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Here we go. So the first question, Bob.
Yes.
Well, you weren't a charter member, but you were close of this club. What was the reason that you joined this club?
When we started to come out here in 1985, we purchased a home, and one day I was going home and I drove into the driveway, and a couple on bicycles followed me right home, and they said, "You're from New Hampshire?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, well, they introduced themselves to me. It was Jerry and Al Bowden. And Jerry was the first lady president of this club.
Oh my goodness.
So,
is that right?
But we were only coming out here like 3 weeks, and then 6 weeks, and on and on and on until I retired or passed on the business in '93. So
Okay.
we were 6 months and 6 months, and Jerry, when she was president, she, "Come on and join Rotary."
There you go.
And I said, "Well, okay." I had been in another service club for 14 years before that.
Here in Sun Lakes or in?
No, in
New
Dover.
Hampshire. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said, "Yes,"
I'll do it.
and that's how it started.
Wow. Well, it's always nice to be asked.
Yes.
You've had lots of opportunities for service here in this Rotary Club. Can you tell us, the camera, how you're able to meet the challenges of life and still be involved in Sun Lakes Rotary projects? Now, for many years, you took care of your spouse,
Yes.
and yet you still volunteered in Rotary and the Splash and
Yeah.
all those things. How did you do that, Bob? How could you get all those things done?
That's easy.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. Being in the service business and servicing industry, everything was an emergency. And if you're going to succeed in business, you pay attention and you give the service.
Right.
And that's as easy as it gets.
As easy as the answer could be. What activities were you involved in here in the Rotary Club?
Yeah.
And why did you choose these?
Strive.
Were you a teacher in Strive? Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, explain what Strive is to those who may not have an answer, because we'd like to have this be something that the future Rotarians who don't even know there's a Rotary Club yet in Sun Lakes
Right.
might want to see, and then provide, you can provide them, if you will, the avenue of service that they could go into.
Yeah.
So tell us about Strive.
Strive is a program developed by Rod. Oh my goodness, how could I forget?
Yeah, I remember his name, but that,
Yeah.
he put this together years ago.
Yes. Oh, and it was you mentored in Chandler High School and Hamilton High School, in the lower third of the class, those folks that needed some help.
Right.
And we would take them on field trips and help them want to get an education.
To get better.
To get better. And it worked out very well. At least I probably did that 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
And there was a lot of success and a lot of pride in those kids. Yeah.
You made a difference.
I think so.
That's good. That's good. What else did you do other than Strive? I mean, that's a lot of work, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. World Affairs,
Oh, wow.
where we interviewed students from Chandler High and Hamilton High that went to Wisconsin for a World Affairs conference. And that was really, really interesting.
It was, huh?
I think we did 10 students from each high school, and we picked 2 and 2 alternates. And it was paid for them to go to the University of Wisconsin. One of their campuses, anyway.
I think it was Madison campus. Could have been there.
Yeah. And that was a real education for those folks. They met students from all over the world that attended and what they learned. And they would come back and tell the club their feelings, and all part of education.
Yeah. That makes you feel really good when you see
Oh,
that.
yes.
Did you notice a lot of difference in what differences did you notice when the kids that you picked, the 2 that went up, and then when they came back later?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
They were so enthused with the subject of that year that they just had to broadcast it.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Kids made you made a difference in their lives too, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
And their peers, they passed it on, and it just helps everybody.
Seems like throwing the paper in the splash delivery is sometimes not enough when you listen to your your involvement.
Also participated in the golf tournaments, and that was a blast. Ryla used to go with Bob Heslin to interview the kids that went to Ryla.
That's up here in in Pine Top,
Yes.
Lakeside.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, I had one of my grandsons went up in Maine years ago.
Wow.
So that was interesting.
Tell us a little bit about your family. You have you were married to.
My wife Beverly.
Yep.
April 12th would have been our 63rd wedding anniversary.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Wow. And you have children? How many children do you have?
We had 2.
Yep.
Our son passed.
Back.
All right.
Okay, Bob. We were asking about your family, and we had to go off for a moment.
Okay.
So anyway, you were married to Beverly for a long time.
Yes. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So, what was your? Were you never an officer of this club?
No.
No.
I was asked 2 or 3 times, but I had had enough previously being president of this and that, and you know,
Yeah, that's enough.
yeah.
So I'll ask you just a couple of questions here. During your, almost 20 years as a Sun Lakes Rotarian, in just a few words, can you describe what Sun Lakes Rotary Club is to you?
Oh my goodness. First off, it's the people.
I've heard that before.
It for an older club, an adult club, and I mean, you know, 60 and above. I have never seen more activity and getting things done without much effort. Everybody participates.
And you're a prime example of that.
And it just, when you walk in the morning to the meeting, there's a greeter, he knows your name, and the friendship, the fellowship, just everything about this club is outstanding. And it doesn't make any difference who you are most welcomed.
Yeah. That's, thank you for that. So when you enter the room,
Yes,
after being greeted by this greeter,
Yes.
and all these people come forward, you think that's changed your life?
it enhanced it, yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And were most of your friends during your time here in Sun Lakes Rotarians, or were there other friends?
Oh no, there were many other friends. Beverly founded the Sun Lakes Chorale,
Oh, wow.
and that was her life, singing.
There's 2 questions I'll finish this with, Bob, because you've now left the club for family reasons and back in New Hampshire, and we certainly do miss you here in Sun Lakes. I want you to know that.
Thank you very much.
When you look at now your club back there and when you were here, let me just ask you the question, Bob. What would you like your legacy to be to those who see this in the future?
That's a toughie.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Probably just being remembered as a kind, friendly, bashful,
Really?
individual that only wanted the best for everybody.
Bob, it's so good to see you here again in Sun Lakes, and I hope you make this an annual, if not more, trip, and you can come back to this club anytime, you know that.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate this.
Thanks, Bob. Take care.